for the skin worshippers. Just Google this for yourself. Look at what Adolf Hitler said about Islam. People saying, "Oh, brown clown, brown clown." You're retarded because you don't have any mind of your own. You just repeat what a streamer on a screen says. Hitler's private statements on Islam. He noted the contrast with Christianity, and this is coming from Albert Speer. This is one of his close advisors. Hitler criticized Christianity as a religion of the weak, focused on suffering and an afterlife, where he praised Islam as a masculine faith geared toward active strength and earthly reward. He expressed regret that Charles Martel defeated the Islamic force at the Battle of Poitiers in 732 AD, remarking that a Germanic conversion to Mohammedanism might have suited the martial German temperament better than Christianity. Hitler himself said that Christianity exalts weakness, because Christianity is literally the worship of a dead Jew on a stick. That's what it is. I'm not even being disrespectful by that. They take the weakest part of Jesus. I love Jesus. Jesus is the Messiah. He's the prophet. The closest prophet to Prophet Muhammad. Peace be upon them both. Christians worship the weakest state, and they exalt this whipped, beaten, destroyed man, bloodied up, with nails in his hands. And they say, this is the image of God we want to remember. It's exalting weakness. And so for the skin worshippers, they're going to get upset when I say this. Listen to Hitler, right? If you worship your skin, who worshiped the skin more than this guy? I'll Google it for yourself if you think it's AI. Let me show you. Just Google Hitler on Islam. Adolf Hitler viewed Islam through a purely political and tactical lens. He expressed private admiration for its perceived martial discipline, while his regime strategically courted Muslim leaders to fight common enemies. And this is what held him back, ultimately, because he acknowledged that it was all true. Racial hierarchy. While he praised the religion, his racial ideology still viewed Arabs and other non-Europeans as racially distinct. Their Nazi officials pragmatically downplayed this to
Hi,
secure
brother
alliances.
Sneak. Can you do something for me? I have a request for a live stream.
No, shut up. The Nazi regime actively sought support across the Middle East and North Africa, broadcasting anti-British and anti-Jewish propaganda to weaken Allied control. Hitler praised Islam as a robust and practical faith suited for warriors, contrasting it with what he called the weakness of Christianity. They don't understand the things I say on Twitter.
Surah Al-Hujurat 49:11.
Okay. He said that to Muslim soldiers? No, he didn't. He was saying that this privately to his advisor, Albert Speer. I read. I know you chuds don't because you just live in... Look at this up. It wasn't to Muslim soldiers. This quote about it exalting weakness and about Islam comes from Albert Speer. He was a German architect who served as a minister of armaments and war production in Nazi Germany for most of World War II. It's from his book. The book is called Inside the Third Reich. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, look, unfortunately, I like what Pope Leo's saying, but if you want to know one of the biggest Jewish psyops of all time, no disrespect, it's Christianity. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful to you. Jesus did prophesize that there would be a fake prophet from the desert. This is Paul. Paul the apostle was persecuting early Christians, and then on the road to Damascus, he said, suddenly, he never met Jesus. He's walking, this random guy who's not a prophet, didn't meet Jesus, and it was killing early followers of Jesus. He hears a sound and sees a light, and suddenly he's like, oh, now I like Jesus. This guy ends up becoming the #1 contributor to the New Testament. He writes the majority of books in the Bible. Paul, this guy, who murdered early followers of Jesus. He was the one who said that Jesus saves. He was the one that says that worship Jesus. Jesus did not say worship me. Paul pushed this idea. So if you want to talk about Jewish psyop, Jewish propaganda, Paul was Jewish. These early people were trying to subvert this religion, take the teachings of Jesus, and then give it to white people so the Jews can control Europe and the Roman Empire. And then look where we are today. Look at all the NATO countries. Look at the US. Who do they serve? The Jews. England sold the land to the Rothschilds after World War I. America right now, intrinsically tied to Israel. America is just an Israeli colony currently. It shouldn't be this way. But this is what the Jews did. They saw the teachings of a good man who said to worship God, and they manipulated it and created a religion that ends up funneling and serving them. What do we hear from Ted Cruz and Mike Huckabee now? God must bless those that bless the state of Israel. Even Christians, a lot of them have this inferiority complex because they believe the Pharisees and the Jews killed Jesus, but they still have the Old Testament as half of their Bible. It's backwards. And they worship this exalted Or they exalt the weakness of God, who's bloodied up, sitting on a stick, and he's there with thorns, and he's bloody and nails in his hands. Why do they exalt the weakest part of a man's life? Worship God. If you want to follow Jesus and be Christ-like, listen to what Jesus said. Don't follow Paul, follow Jesus. Be Christ-like. Don't be like Sam Frank is like a Swiftie at a concert. This is what they're doing now, the evangelicals. And ask him what they think about Jews. You see what 6ix9ine, his mom, was saying about Jews? They worship Jews. They believe that Jews are the chosen. They see themselves as subservient to Jews. They're at the stadium like this. Ah, la, 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 la. Jesus didn't pray like that, bro. He prayed like this. Simple. Like this, head to the floor. Simple. Not in a concert venue. And I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. I think Pope Leo is saying good things, and I think most Christians are good people. But this religion it was completely subverted and just used for the Jewish empire. And when Jesus descends, do you know what he's going to do? He's going to break the cross. He's going to be like, okay, I'm not trying to paraphrase for him, but the prophecy is he will descend and he'll say, worship God, and he'll pray with the Muslims. And even though, in the book I'm reading, you know why he ascended? Jesus made dua, and he asked Allah, I want to be with the Muslims, because he prophesied that there would be the final prophet, Muhammad, peace be upon him. He knew that was going to happen. Ahmed, he called him. And he wanted to be with the Ummah because he wasn't able to convince the people. He wasn't able to get the job done at the time when he was around. It didn't work. They persecuted him. They tried to get him killed. He didn't rule. They say Christ is king, but he's like Christ is the kingdom of heaven on earth. He didn't rule anything. So he asked Allah. He said, okay, I want to be with the Ummah. So he was ascended, switched the body, and he's going to descend again and be with his people, the Muslims that worship God and God alone. And that crucifix that everyone's holding up and waving around, look at this. Look at this dead, bloody Jew on a stick. Why would he want you to worship that? Why would he want his memory to be a dead, bloody guy on a cross, bro, with nails in his hands and thorns in his head? That's the worst image of him. And then people will realize that there's only one true Abrahamic faith.
This is why they hate you, bro, you spitting facts.
They're not going to refute it. You know what they're going to do? This is what they're doing now. Oh, Sneako's losing it. Sneako's insane. And look, I'm passionate on stream because I care about this and I'm making content. Do I look like an insane person? But right now, I know how to get energetic and entertained. Someone said maybe. Someone said maybe. Yeah, I know. And Jesus is going to do Umrah and Hajj. I just wrote that in my notes. Yeah. Jesus is going to put on the Ihram and do Hajj and Umrah with the Muslims.